Hi coaches, welcome to a new installment with the GBL videos. It's called our Drill of the Week, and what we want to try to do is over the next 2 or 3 weeks is to put up a new video for the coaches to use, maybe to give your team some new ideas about either offense or defense or some new drills, or maybe you're looking for something that has worked that you want to try to take a step further maybe with your squad. One of the things that we've had some good feedback with has been our 3-on-3 drill and our 3-on-3 video that we showed. And we want to just take a moment and maybe try to show you 1 or 2 things you can add to this 3-on-3 drill, because it's so good when you can have all 6 players or 8 players, however many you have on your squad, involved in a drill or in the action all at one time. And as we said before, you know, it's a lot better than scrimmaging full court, because you just get so many touches, and guys get the idea, and girls also get the idea about offensive spacing, defensive work, where should I be on both offense and defense. And what we want to do here in this part of our drill of the week is to show you the offensive side of our 3-on-3 drill. And here's how we want to do it. In terms of adding a little something to it that really might help your squad get better. If we have 3 offensive players to start out in 3 basic spots, just like we showed on the video, and as you've tried in practice, the one thing to add is to have a coach, or if you're lucky enough to have 2 coaches, 1 coach in the corner or 2 coaches in the corner who are unguarded. They can be outlet players for the offense. So if one has the ball and one passes to 2, or one can pass either side, it makes no difference. The coach is always the outlet in the corner where you can always throw the ball to and then see what happens after that. What you'll find, especially with younger players, is, and you've probably seen this already in your games, but as 2 passes the ball to the coach, let's say we come to this side, coach catches the ball in the corner, all 3 offensive players are probably going to just be like magnets and come right over to where the coach is, and you're going to have a cluster of about 8 people right beside the coach in the corner. And it's a great opportunity for you to show your team, you know, this is exactly what we don't want to have happen. We want to have floor balance on offense. We want to make, you know, basket cuts and longer cuts to the basket when we do that. So in this example, if 2 passes the coach here in the corner, if coach has the ball, and we'll just put a circle around the coach as showing that he has the ball here, 2 can make what we showed on the video too, is to make a basket cut, which means he or she is just going to cut right to the basket with their hands up and look for the ball back from the coach. If 2 doesn't get it, 1 can replace right over here, just right where 2 was, and 3 can kind of probe the defense right here and maybe make a cut straight across the lane, but stop somewhere in this vicinity right here. So again, the idea is not to come all the way to the ball, but to come in a place where you can be open and you're still maybe close to the basket, where you can maybe beat your defender just on a straight cut right across the lane. So we have 1 is now over here, 3 is here, 2 has gone all the way through. Now what 2 will continue to do is 2 will continue to cut all the way out the other side. So we almost have the exact same spacing that we started with, except now we just have different people or different players occupying different spots. All right. So now we can tell 3, look, if you don't get it here, don't just stay there and don't try to, you know, come closer to the ball to get it. Maintain floor balance. This is not bad floor balance right here. You see we have a triangle where we have some pretty good spacing, and that's okay. But 3, if they're just kind of clogging things up there in the middle, 3 can just come right out front, and now we're basically right where we started from. At the beginning of the drill, we just have different people occupying different spots. Now to make it more interesting, you can add screening action. You can have 1 if they pass to the coach, They can screen for three. Three can then make a cut to the basket, and you can do things like that. That's all fine. That's all fine. It might be hard for younger players to understand those concepts and why you're doing it, but a screening action like this, especially in the 6th, 7th, 8th grade levels, that action right here is how John Wooden and UCLA won all those championships. It's just called a UCLA cut. And it's just a cut right there. If three doesn't get it, they just continue all the way through. One can then pop out after screening. Two comes up, three goes here and then all the way over, and we still have our good floor balance. All these things you can do with your players, experimenting with screening action and cutting action. Once the offense does it, you can then ask the defense, now this is pretty hard to guard, right? I mean, this is not easy, to guard these longer cuts. You have to talk on the screening action. You have to follow the guy all the way through. If they cut through to the other side, it sure beats, something like this where one is out here, pass to the coach, and then just come right down here and try to catch the ball. Well, that's easy to guard. The defense only has to take like 1 or 2 steps, and they're right in good position, and so much for the floor balance for offense. It just doesn't exist anymore. So all these things, when you're working with your players, especially when you talk about offense, these things are all very good. Then, if you want to take it even a step further than that, is to have the coach then not just be stationary, or both coaches not be stationary in the corner, but instead the coach can also dribble out front, so that if somebody cuts, let's say one over here, cuts toward the coach, if the coach is on the dribble, just cut through and get out of there. And maybe one now comes into this side to maintain our floor balance. So, again, it's teaching your players concepts and teaching them spacing and teaching them how to do it. And as you notice, I'm sure in the games, yeah, it's a little bit confusing. It's a little confusing, it's a little chaotic, it's a little bit, not what you want in terms of maybe it would be a lot easier to run sets and to run screens and tell people exactly where to go. But when you do that, you're just not teaching them spacing and conceptual action in terms of offense and basketball itself. And with our 3-on-3 drill that we do, when you work with both offense and defense and show them different things about spacing and how to do it, all your players are going to get very good very quickly.